Welcome to Be Me with Shari Ware, the podcast where each day is a step towards a better you and where we focus on progress, not perfection. Join me as we embark on a journey of self-improvement and wellness, focusing on being just a little better than we were yesterday. Hello and welcome to episode 34 of the Be Me podcast. My name is Shari Ware, I'm your host. And in this episode, we are actually starting a brand new series called Self-Care for Busy People. I'm definitely one of those busy people, and I know that sometimes it can feel really hard to implement things, even when we know that they're going to be really beneficial for us, that they're going to be really helpful for us, and it's something that we really want to do. Sometimes we can be in that mindset that, oh my God, it's going to take too long. I don't have that amount of time. I can't fit it in, blah, blah, blah. I know, I've been there. I do it too. So this series is to help you and me to get out of that mindset. And there's going to be 6 areas that I'm going to give you some really quick, easy, simple things that you can do in those particular areas that are going to help you and that you can do because it doesn't take a lot of time and they're really simple and easy. So this episode is specifically on 5-minute morning rituals to help you get your day started get your day started right. And the beautiful Louise Hay said, how you start your day is how you live your day. How you live your day is how you live your life. Now, I know that when I first saw that quote, it really made me sit up and think and go, that's a different perspective I hadn't actually thought about before, but I definitely think about it now, and that's one of the reasons why I created this series. So, in this particular episode, we're going to talk about why is it important to have a morning ritual, even if it's for 5 minutes or less. How do you actually do it? And something that I created to help you do it called the FAB3 Way. So, why is it important? Now, I know that in this modern, busy life, that mornings can easily be a blur. We can just get up and get stuck into it, especially, when we've got kids, we've got to get off to school, and work we've got to get to, meetings we have to prepare for, all of those things. I know, I get it, I've been there. I'm still there. I'm definitely guilty of getting up and getting to work straight away because I know that I've got a really busy day. And if you're anything like me, you try and cram everything in that you can possibly to your day, and it doesn't leave a lot of free time. However, things can really quickly go off the rails if you do that. And if you just took a couple of minutes in the morning to set yourself up really well for the day ahead, you can actually reduce your stress. You can set a positive tone that lasts all day throughout the day, and you can make sure that you're moving forward with the right mindset. Now, I'm not saying that life will not happen on some days. That does happen from time to time. And my beautiful daughter always throws a quote at me from Captain Cold from one of the comics. He says that make the plan, execute the plan, expect the plan to go off the rails, throw away the plan. So I'm not saying that we need to have that mindset every day. I'm always going to have the mindset that I'm going to make the plan and I'm going to execute the plan. And I'm not going to expect the plan to go off the rails. But what I am saying is sometimes it will, and that's okay. It's actually going to help us to have our quick, easy morning routine, so that we can be a bit more resilient when the plan does go off the rails, which from time to time it will. So how can you actually do that? Number one is set an intention for the day. And before I actually go through all these things, I will remind you that I'm going to go through a list of things. It doesn't mean that you need to implement them all. I just like to give you options because different things, different strokes for different folks, different things work for different people. There's some things you might go, yeah, nah, that's not me. And there's other things that go, oh, yeah, I can do that. All right. So it's about you looking at the overview, looking at all the things you could do, and there's even more things that I haven't even put in here. So it's really just about you having the perspective, okay, I want to start doing something small in the morning that's going to help me get my day off to a start where I feel really good, and then implementing it, whether or not it's something that's on this list or something that you've just thrown in because you really, really like it. So the first thing on my list is set an intention for the day. It's really simple. It's just basically you setting saying out loud or in your head to yourself, whatever it is you want your day to be. What's your intention for the day? Whether it be that you will remain calm no matter what life throws at you, if you've got a really busy day ahead, it could be that you intend to just go with the flow and you know that you believe that everything will work out the way it's meant to work out. Whatever it is that's going to give you a positive focus to move forward with, just set your intention for the day. The next thing is gratitude. And look, it doesn't have to be a big thing. I quite often say 1 minute, but it doesn't even have to be 1 minute. You could literally just say every morning when I brush my teeth, I'm going to think about 3 things that I'm grateful for this morning. If you've caught any of my other episodes, all of the things that I teach, the STEPS formula, all of it's backed by neuroscience and habit science. And when you're stacking habits or attaching habits, new habits to something a habit that you already have, that you already do every single day automatically, it makes it easier to implement. So that's a perfect example when you're brushing your teeth that you're going to start thinking about 3 things that you're grateful for today. It doesn't have to be that way. You can do it whenever. You can actually have a formal process where you sit down for a couple of minutes and write out what you're grateful for. But just starting the day with gratitude can really set you off on a really good note. And it can be something as simple as you're grateful for the great night's sleep you had, or you're grateful for your morning coffee, or you're grateful for the beautiful sunshine. It doesn't have to be something big that you're grateful for. The simplest things are often the best. But it really does help you to get your day started in a really positive way. You could do a quick stretch or some physical movement or a breathing exercise. Physical movement is always good. It doesn't matter how brief it is. It could literally be 1 or 2 minutes. Up until recently, I was living in a house with stairs, and so in the morning after I brushed my teeth and got dressed and all of that jazz, I had to go upstairs in the morning because the bedrooms were on the lower level. And so I would, set my timer for 1 or 2 minutes and just go up and down the stairs for however long I'd set my timer for. And that was it didn't mean that I didn't do more movement later in the day, but that was a really good start to my day by getting a couple of minutes of movement in. It could just be some gentle stretches, some yoga stretches. Whatever works for you, whatever makes you feel good. And a breathing exercise, if you just wanted to do a simple breathing exercise, just do a few rounds of inhaling for a count of 4, holding for a count of 4, and then exhaling for a count of 6. If you did 3 or 4 rounds of that, even that would be really great to help making sure you're moving forward in a calm way, and helping to energize you and prepare for the day ahead. Visualization. We all know that visualization is a really great tool. It can definitely prepare you mentally for the day ahead. and help to reduce your stress, especially if you know that you've got a busy day coming up. Just visualize how you want it to go. Quite often, if I know I've got a really busy day coming up, that's what I do. I visualize, how I want it to go. I want it to flow, that I will get everything done that I need to get done, all of those things. And it really does help to prepare. Again, not saying that sometimes the plan doesn't go off the rail, but you're going to be more prepared for if the plan does go off the rail if you've taken a couple of minutes in the morning to help prepare yourself for the day you've got ahead. And finally, last but not least, I should say, using a simple affirmation or incantation. Now, this kind of can actually tie in with setting the intention. Whatever your intention is, you could create an affirmation or an incantation around that. I definitely, if I've got a busy day coming up, I have this affirmation, and I didn't come up with this. Somebody else came up with this, and I know that I was stressing one day about how I was going to get everything done. And the beautiful Michelle, you know who you are. Thank you for this, because I use it all the time. She told me, "Oh, Shari, you're just spending time." So now I tell that to myself all the time. I have an incantation. If I've got a really busy day, I just keep saying, I'm bending time. Everything will flow, and I will get everything done that I need to get done. Something along those lines. And I just keep saying that over and over again. And, sometimes I don't get everything done, but I get what I need to get done. And it's definitely in a much calmer, less stressed out state than if I didn't have that affirmation and incantation that I was continually saying. Now, if you want a beautiful practice that combines all of, not all of them, but most of the things that we've spoken about into your day in just 3 minutes, then you definitely want to check out the FAB3 Way, and I'll make sure that I give you the link for that. It is, in a nutshell, FAB3 stands for 333 to my most fabulous me. 3 minutes, 3 times a day, 3 things. And the 3 things are self-love, gratitude, and visualization. And so basically it's 3 minutes, 3 times a day, which is nothing. Anybody can find 3 minutes, 3 times a day. And even if you only did it 3 minutes 1 time a day in the morning, that would still be an awesome morning routine in less than 5 minutes. And you would set yourself up for a much better day if you just did that. So I'll make sure you have all the links to that, as there quite often is. For this episode, there is a corresponding Be Me Bites edition, Be Me Bites 32, Self-Care for Busy People Part 1, 5-minute morning rituals to start your day right. I will put that in the show notes for you. And I'll remind you that I really like people to check out the written edition, because quite often there's things in there that I don't put in the podcast. I don't script the podcast. I just talk off the cuff. So things may or not get in there, and some extra things get in there sometimes that aren't in the written edition. But the most important thing is that I put extra resources into the written edition for you to check out if you want a little bit. If you want to go a little bit deeper into that particular topic. So I'll direct you there, and I'll put the link in the show notes. And my ethical bribe, if you subscribe to Be Me Bites, you get an online copy of any one of my books for free. And when you subscribe, you get an email that tells you how to claim that. That is it for this episode. Until the next episode, keep taking one step at a time, and I'll see you then. Bye. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. Remember to check out the show notes, and if you have any comments, feedback, or suggestions, I'd love to hear them. If you've received value from this podcast, make sure to subscribe, and I'd love you to rate and review the show. Have a fabulous day.